Body, 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 money. Hello. Hello, everyone. Sup? How you guys doing? Sup, everybody? Welcome. How you guys doing? It's good to see you, my friends. Good to see you, my friends. What's happening? There you go. Thank you, guys. Yo, 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 yo. Hey, Matesh, how you doing? How you doing, buddy? Yours is coming tomorrow, my friend. There you go. So I'm inking right now, guys. Now I actually filmed. Oh, this is actually not too bad. I actually filmed me putting together my whole layout process. So you will actually see that in the video for this tomorrow. Okay. So I did film that, but I just didn't do it live. So I went through me doing all these thumbnails and all that kind of stuff. So there you go. So we are just gonna ink. Hi Warhawk, love my 10-minute challenge earlier. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hey Philip, how you doing, buddy? Doing extremely well, my friends. Extremely well. How y'all doing? Okay, so with that, oh, Darmody, you broke your arm. Oh, that's horrible, man. Okay, you gotta start drawing with your feet. Sorry, man. I didn't mean to make fun. I'm sorry, buddy. Sorry, but I hope you get well very fast, my friend. But you're a young guy. Doesn't it like heal like Wolverine, you know? If you were here, bro, I would draw on your cast, my friend. There you go. Adao De Lima Jr. How you doing? Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. There you go. Hi, Daisuke. How you doing, my friend? More Star Wars for you, my friend. Mad Henry 187 in Twitch. How you doing? How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. So yeah, so what I'm doing now right now, this is a commission, guys. This is commission. Someone asked me to do Vader versus Wolverine, which I thought was a lot of fun. So it's always great when people give me these kind of commissions to do. There's a lot of fun. And I'm going to be doing a really fun one tomorrow. So you got to tune in for tomorrow. Excuse me. It's that good. I was coughing. It's going to be a really fun one tomorrow. So won't spoil it for you, but if there's a there's a reason to get those notifications going. Make sure you subscribe and get those notifications going, so that you won't miss the fun. There you go. There you go. Oh, PG's got a permanent foot injury from martial arts. That hurts. Let's go. Adio, how you? Hello from Brazil, my friend. Give Wolverine his sideburns. Well, you won't see his sideburns because he's got his mask on. He's got his mask on, so. You know, and I mentioned this in the video, but this is going to be interesting because I haven't drawn this small. And when I say this small, like drawn like a finished drawing, with the characters like this size. Even that's going to sound funny, but... So I'm going to get a little bit tighter with the inks for this particular one. Mainly also because it's fun, right? So... One thing about working big is that for the most part, you could get away with a lot of stuff. You could get away with your lines being very loose. Here, you can't really. So. There you go. Daisuke does martial arts. There you go. Yeah, that's right, Darmody. Start trying to draw with your other hand. That's a fantastic idea. Why not? Why not? Then you could be twice as fast. You could draw with both hands at the same time. There you go. Okay, so I'm going to draw this here first. So now's a great time to, because this whole bit that I'm filming here, it's all going to be sped up. So if you guys have any questions or anything, now's a fantastic time to ask me any questions if you have any. Also, for those of you who are new to my live streams, and I'm not doing like challenges and stuff where I have a lot of participation, I encourage you to be drawing yourself. So now is a fantastic time to get some work done. So get some work done with me. Now I'm probably only going to go for roughly around about an hour and a half or so. So I might not even finish this. We'll see. Like if I get close, maybe I'll stick it out and finish it. But the reason I'm not going, like my kids, they're watching a movie right now, so I find this a nice quiet time to get some work done while the kids are watching a movie. So there you go. How do you draw Darth Vader's helmet? Very carefully, my friend. There you go. Glitchy Hostile. Hello, how you doing? Mad Henry likes to draw himself. There you go. There you go. Well, Darmody, maybe you could draw with the other hand, my friend. Okay, so I'm not doing the major blacks till later. I'm going to try to get all of everything with the one done first. Is it too late to start? Is it too late to start at 51 years old? Not at all. Depends what you want to get into. It really does. Like with everything, with every different art profession, a portfolio matters. However, I'd be lying to say to you if, like for example, if you were going to work in a studio environment, like just say, what's it called? If you wanted to work in film, a studio environment, and you were just starting at 51, I would be lying if I said that age didn't sway managers when it comes to hiring you. Now I'm talking about film here. If you were going to work in visual effects, that could sway them. It could. Same with concept art. Now, however, when it comes to freelance, though, that's a completely different issue. Freelance, because they don't see you. For the most part, they don't even see you. So it doesn't matter. Comics, it doesn't matter. What matters is your actual portfolio. They never ask your age in comics. They never really do. Like if they like your stuff, you'll get a job, right? So like I won't say they never ask your age, but it's not in comic books. That's not the biggest factor, especially since you don't work in that studio environment. So that's one of those things. Talon says, "What is your ethnicity?" Why don't you guess there, Talon? There you go. Let's see here. I am Canadian, my friend. Yes, born, bred in Canada. However, my parents, they are from the Philippines, so. Let's see here. Hi, Elijah. How you doing? What did I draw? What did I draw as a kid? Mostly cartoons. That was most like yeah. I think I would watch Sunday morning cartoons and I would draw them, or Saturday morning cartoons and I would draw. So those would be more the type of thing. Again, I didn't get into comic books till later in life. I did love superheroes though, like Super Friends. That was one of my favorite TV shows growing up as a kid. Was Super Friends. So. There you go. Are you going to get a haircut this weekend? Well, I got a mini haircut. As you see, the sides are a little bit shorter. I will get one next week for sure because I'm going to San Francisco again the week after that. So there you go. Let's see here. Did you ever get sick for the fumes of Sharpies? I don't even notice it nowadays. So there you go. Here. I want to draw, but I need sleep. Glitchy Hostile. Well, you choose what you need to do. There you go. There you go. What can I not draw? Anime. It's not I can't draw it. It's just I'm not very good at it. So. I assume that's what you mean. What am I not very good at drawing? Say anime. I need to get better at it. Let's see here. Let's see. How much does it cost to work professionally in drawing? That's an interesting question. It depends what you're what you're going for, what kind of drawing you're going for. How much it costs, as much as it takes. Like everyone has their own equipment that they use, so like I'll let you know the Strathmore paper costs maybe like $20. But if you actually work professionally in comics, they send you paper, so that paper is not the issue. It's the actual drawing utensils that you use. I'd say those would be the more where the costs are. Look at that! Look at that peck. Let's see here. Let's go. Thanks for the info. I'd like to go more towards concept art if possible. I have great imagination, just need to work on my portfolio. Oh, that's great. But yeah, like at that point, like I wouldn't even worry about age. Well, we're as old as we are, right? So if you love doing concept art, just do a lot of concept art and get the best you can at it. That's really all you can control. You can't control how old you are. Can't control our looks. Can't control those things. So why worry too much about those? Worry about what you can control, and that is how good your portfolio is. So, and hopefully that will help. That will help you. Let's see here. Is this the Jim Lee's Wolverine? Pretty much, yeah. That's what he wanted. He wanted the more Jim Lee Wolverine. Or it's more like the original Wolverine. The blue and yellow Wolverine. Let's see here. Nice expression in the face. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. And I'm not done yet, too. I'm going to give him like a lot of beard. He's going to get a lot of beard. Let's see. Where do you start off with poses or poses that require foreshortening? Thumbnails. Always sketch them out first. Always sketch them out first. You know, especially if you're starting, if you don't know, there's nothing wrong with taking a camera. Everyone has cell phones nowadays, so if you have a cell phone, nothing wrong with taking pictures of yourself in different poses, just to see how it looks. Nothing wrong with that. Take advantage of the technology that we have. Darth Vader on P90. Well, Wolverine definitely is. There you go. Let's see here. Will I help my daughter to be a cartoonist? Well, we'll see. We'll see. She's really young, so whatever she wants to do. And that's one thing that going into art has taught me as a parent. It's more, okay, like just because I don't understand a specific avenue that my kids might want to make a career out of, that shouldn't be a deterrent. I should do better to try to understand that particular avenue. Because they even said, by the time my kids are ready to get a job or even into college, by that time, there are probably a lot of jobs that don't even exist today, right? Like all this internet stuff, like job getting as a YouTuber. Like that just popped up in the last 10 years, right? Or that was only a possibility in the last 10 years. So those type of things. Let's see. Scario likes the chest and abs. There you go. Do cartoon artists get paid good money? What do you mean by cartoon artist? There, Elijah. Are you talking about like someone like in the newspaper? That kind of cartoonist? Or are you talking about anime? Of course, animators make a lot of money. They do extremely well. Let's see here. What does my wife do? She's a nurse. Let's see. My daughter started drawing manga. I have no idea what to do. Well, Craig, in Japan, manga artists, they make a ton, way more money than American artists do. So maybe that's a good thing, right? Let me just get some reference for this, like in movie, TV show. Absolutely, if you're talking about animators make a pretty good money, and it can be very consistent as well. Now, film and TV compared to video games, like film and TV, it's more contract to contract. So, visual effects artists, animators, all that stuff, it's usually on contract. So 6 months here, 12 months here. That's so on and so forth. So on and so forth. However, what's called in video games, it's a little different. In video games, it's more. There's way more full-time jobs in video games than there actually is in film. So. And it's funny you asked that because me and Mark, we covered that. We filmed a podcast a few days ago, and we actually talked about we went into depth on the whole money issue, like because that is one of my more popular videos when I talked about money, and we talked about everything money when it comes to making money as an artist. So. little plug for a podcast that's not here yet. Felipe, hello from Brazil. There you go. My mom keeps telling me to quit art. What do I do? That's always tough. That's always tough. How old are you? May I ask how old you are? Let's see here. It's my favorite superhero apart from Batman. Wolverine. There you go. What would help me improve my anatomy drawing other than practice? Look at anatomy. There you go. But I love the other than, but then your other than is the most important thing that you need to do. You know. How do I succeed aside from working hard? Like, you know, well, that's the biggest thing. You got to work hard. You know. That same thing, like, you know, that's like the guy who goes, oh, okay, no, I won't say that because it's like it's the same. It's not. Never mind. But sorry, I'm just playing with you, buddy. There you go. I met a Filipino doctor yesterday. He was telling me how he wanted to do art before he was a doctor, parallel to your story. That's true, though I guarantee he has a lot more money than I do. I'll tell you that much. Sydney says, this is very creative. How did you come up with the idea? I did not come up with the idea. This is actually commission. This is commission, so somebody paid me to do this commission for them. So that's what's going on here. Now the actual the poses and everything, I actually filmed that. So if you guys look at my channel tomorrow, I go through how I came up with these poses for Wolverine and for Darth Vader here. So, Glitchy Oslo, how do you know how big to draw the ribs compared to the head? You know, practice. You know, the different proportions and all of that stuff. You know, always cover all that kind of stuff. So, meant by what, like books and stuff like that. So, like there's lots of books. I'm sure that a lot of the guys in the chat can tell you better books, like current books, because I haven't read a good art book in a while. I have a book here. It's called Artistic Anatomy. That's a very old book that I got in college. So that's a good book. But I'm sure these guys here would have better suggestions for anatomy books than I could give you. Let's see here. Can I do another collab with Jazza? Sure. Well, why don't you ask him? You better ask him instead. Well, I draw great Wolverine. Thank you very much. Thank you. So what if the doctor has a lot more money than you? Well, that's, you know, that's true and all, but you know, here's the deal. I'm 40. I have 3 kids, and you know, as fun as it is, you know, things matter, like putting food on the table and all that kind of stuff. So that's why it does matter after a while. You know, if you're living on your own, your early 20s, you know, other people depending on you to put food in their mouths, then yeah, what you know, who cares what matters with money? But as you get a little older, you need bills to pay and you got responsibilities. So it's not all fun and games anymore like it used to, right? So I'm just trying to figure out some stuff there. Look, 25. Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you. Yo, Fast Silver Sonic. How you doing, my friend? Yo. Yo, my friend. Yo. Let's see. Were you ever denied pay or ran into some obstacle, people not paying you? Yes, a lot. That's happened a lot of times, though I don't want to put these companies under the bus. Um, though it hasn't happened with the obvious one people would think. They would think Dreamwave didn't pay me, but I actually got paid all my money from Dreamwave. Um, so it wasn't them. It was actually another company that didn't pay me. And there are a few like these smaller companies that didn't pay me. Like I discussed that in my latest throwback episode. I discussed one of the different companies that didn't pay me, and then they went bankrupt. And then once they go bankrupt, that's it. You can't do anything, really. Or it's one of those things where it costs way more than the actual money they owe you to try to get the money. You know what I mean? And then it's like, ugh, what can you do? Sometimes that's the life of a freelance artist. Let's see here. Does Darth Vader look like he's having a good time? Yeah, he's hanging out with Wolverine. Why not? He's having a great time. There you go. He's my favorite superhero. I mentioned this before. Batman, Wolverine. Can't It's obvious answers, but it's also the true answers. So. Yo. Yo. Oh, there you go. Hi, Marilyn. How you doing? Welcome. Welcome. And I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. So now's a great time to ask questions. And lucky for you guys, my following isn't so big where I won't be able to read the chat. I could read all the chats. So by all means, ask me all your questions. Ask away. Ask away. Ask away. Hold on. I'll just move up in the chat a tiny bit because I was trying to read a question there. Looking great. I'm working on a Tiger at the moment. That's great, Art Daniel. How much would this shipping be on your commissions to Florida, Sean? I would have to actually go check it out. I'm not sure offhand. I could give a quote for you if just message me on my Facebook or email me. But I could get a quote for you. I don't think it'd be more than 25 bucks, I think, something like that. I would assume probably around that range, around $25. Let's see. When you do this, Fernando says, when you do this level of detail, I usually think how come DC don't give you covers to do. I don't know. You gotta ask them that. I don't know. As you guys know, I would love to do a DC cover here, but again, also too, because my contacts at DC, like a lot of them are gone. Like a lot of them have moved on to different companies. So I don't know that many people at DC now, though. That shouldn't stop me. Like, there is that website that's called Google that I can probably find out who to contact and how to contact. So let's see here. Practice in Rome or practice the right way. That's right. That's true. 12. I draw a lot, but still not very good at anatomy. Recently won a competition in Australia. Well, congratulations there, Kane. And I love talking to younger kids like you, like because you got your whole life ahead of you. You really do. And I think that's great. I think that's great that you're doing well in art. Just especially you and guys like Darmoody. Be patient, guys. You gotta be patient. And Darmody knows because I keep banging that into him. Like, you gotta be patient. You got so much time. 12 years old. You got so much time. Be patient with it. Learn. Don't be afraid to try new things. Sketch. You know, try different styles. Try lots and lots of different styles. Because you might find that there are styles that you didn't think you would love, and then it turns out that you absolutely love them. You absolutely love them. So let's see here. What's the rule of thumb for the big black areas? Number one, well, of course, number one rule is understand your lighting. If you don't understand, you have to understand lighting and you have to understand form. If you don't understand either of those, it's really hard to put in the blacks, because those are the two most important things. Okay, they are the most important. If you don't know how to put in those parts here, if you don't understand lighting, and if you don't understand the form, and then when I say form, it's thinking in 3D. If you don't understand those, it's really hard to spot blacks, because you won't know where to put them. So, the young critic, don't tell him that, all right? I won't even say what he did. AC Cappuccino, first of all, I love your name. Did you ever find school, work life getting in the way of improving earlier on or before your career? I would say no, because like, I've always been drawing, and it's not like my parents never stopped me from drawing. Even though they wanted me to be a doctor, they never stopped me from actually drawing. Like, they like my drawings, right? So they like my drawings. So there was nothing like, oh, I can't draw because I need to do this or that. No, it was never nothing like that. I've always had the time to draw. So I would say no. Let's see. What should you do after high school? Are you saying if you want to get into art there, Elijah? Is that what you're talking about? Let's see. Arabelle you says, I'm a big fan. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Elijah has one more year of high school. Young guy. I like that. A young guy. Well, it depends what you want to do, Elijah. Do you know exactly what you want to do? Like, it sounds like you want to get into art, but do you know exactly what kind of art you want to get into? Now, I tell this to everybody, okay? So, and this is my advice for those of you who are in high school, and you know you want to go to college, you want to get into comic books or whatever, or you want to get into art. I would say to anyone who wants to get an art that is in college, I would tell you right away, take animation. Take animation if you could afford college. If you could afford it. And this is only if you could afford college. If you can't afford college, don't do this. But if you could afford college, your parents really want you to go to college, I would tell you right away, take animation. Even if you want to do comics, even if you want to get into like different types of art, I would say take animation, because the skills that you learn in animation is stuff you can apply to comics, to any sort of field in art, right? And the discipline you're going to learn doing animation, it's second to none. You're going to learn so much by getting into animation. So now, it's not necessary, though. It's not necessary. And again, I would only suggest college to anyone, and this is coming from a college professor. I teach college, right? I'm a professor in college. And I say this to everyone, only go to college if you could afford it. If you can't afford it, there's so many resources nowadays on YouTube and Gumroad and a lot of cheaper options out there that, and especially if you want to be an artist. It's called, and what matters at the end of the day, like these studios, they don't care if you have they don't care if you come from a certain school or not. What matters to them is the portfolio. Now, I won't lie to you too, in the sense where it does help if you said you were from Ringling, or if you're from Cal Arts, or if you're from Vancouver Film School. It does help. Like, I'm not saying it doesn't help at all. Of course it does help. But what really gets you hired is the actual work you do. And you could do that even without going to college. So it's up to you, really. It's up to you. And up to you, like, for example, I needed to go to college because, and I mentioned this before, I needed to go to college because I what's it called? I had trouble learning on my own, so that was my biggest thing. I had a lot of trouble learning on my own, so I needed college. I needed someone to push me and say, "Hey, this is due at this time on this day, and if you don't, something bad's gonna happen." You know, I needed that, so that's why college really helped me out in my visual effects career, most especially. So. Let's see here. Will you make drawings of on comics of Star Wars? Only if they ask me. If they ask me, I'm not gonna turn it down. But I was never asked, so. Wolverine's veins are bigger than my eyebrows. Because he's Wolverine. There you go. Because he's a mutant. What do you think about drawing using a graphic tablet? Yeah, that's what it is today. That's the standard. Well, here's the day. I love working traditionally. As you see here, I'm working traditionally. There are major advantages to working on the computer, but I'll admit too, the reason I like working traditionally is more for a financial aspect because, well, one, again, there's only one of these in the world. There's only going to be one of this piece in the world, and that's it. And who's going to own it is the person who bought this from me. That's something that computers would never do. That's one thing graphic tablets will never do. Well, I guess unless you you get the one with the paper on the top, right? I believe Jazz is giving those out as prizes now. But that's one advantage of working traditionally. It's more for extra income more than anything. But drawing on the computer, you know, you could do so many things a lot easier on the computer that you know, it's just the way it goes. Like when I was working in film, like yeah, 90% of my day is on Photoshop. That was 90% of my day as a matte painter. So computer's the future there. So let's see here. How's my day going? Doing well. What about graphic design? Graphic design is good, though the options aren't that as many. Again, and it depends what you want to do there, Elijah. What do you want to do? What's your goal? If your goal is actually add graphic design, then yeah, take graphic design. But I would even suggest, like, if you want to be a comic book artist, I would suggest taking animation still over going to school like the Joe Kubert School. Even though, you know, it's a fantastic school, so many graduates got into comics that school right away. Mainly because two things. Like, again, a lot of the things you could apply to comic books that you will learn in animation. Also, you have that secondary trade that if things don't go well in comics, which it happens a lot. If things don't go well, you could get a job elsewhere and make actually a really good living elsewhere that's kind of related. So take care, Kane. There you go. Have I ever tried Moloto markers? Never heard of them, actually. You should do more making cars into Transformers, Daisy says. Well, you better tune in tomorrow. That's all I'm going to say. Tune in tomorrow. We're going to have some fun tomorrow. This Wolverine's a lot of fun, by the way. I'm having a ball. I'm having a blast. I'm having a blast drawing Wolverine here. Now, I might go in and go in with the Sharpie soon here, but maybe I'll draw this hand here first. How did I get contacted by Marvel, and what was the pay? Porter asks. Oh, I love that. I love the money question right away. If you want to know, again, if you just go check out that video about page rates, and there's a website called I forgot. I think it was fairpagerates.com. And the reason I reference that website is because looking at what the data on that website, it was very similar to how it was when I was in comics back in the day. So if you want to know more about how much somebody actually earns in comic books, go look for that how much does a comic book artist actually make video that I made before, so you could check that out. Look at that giant hand, Wolverine hand. That's a giant Wolverine hand. It's supposed to be foreshortening, but it looks too big. Any tips for a 15-year-old artist? Yes, patience. Number one, and I'm going to scream it to high heavens. Be patient. Be patient. Because you have your whole life ahead of you. Whole life. You're very young. Very, very young. You have all the time in the world. All the time. So be patient, but also take advantage and draw everything. Draw everything. Don't just draw comic books. Draw everything. Draw as much from life as you can. Draw every day. That's right. Brad's right. And draw as much from life as you can. Learn the rules before you break them. Even though if you want to do a cartoony style. Even if you want to do cartoony style. Now, Robson Inc. doesn't like it when I say that. But even if you want to draw cartoony style. Learn the rules before you break them. It will help you break the rules better. Let's just say those. I'm trying to make a character, but I'm trying to get the hairstyle right. Any tips? Hair's tough. You gotta understand lighting. Everything boils down to lighting and form. Those are the two biggest things, and hair's no exception to that. The more detail in the darker areas, highlights. Think about highlights, and how the light affects those different areas. Let's see here. Abraham is a senior in high school, want a career in technical drawing. How do you prepare? Well, do you plan on going to school? Yeah. Do I know Kamen Rider? I don't, actually. Let's see here. Who wins this fight? Jalen says. I'm going with Vader. I'm going with Vader. So I forgot who sent me the video. Someone did send me the video of the would a lightsaber go through adamantium claws? And that video helped a lot with with my opinion on it. So I say Vader wins. Vader wins. Let's see here. Bye, Fonzie. There you go. Any advice for creating your own character? I'd like to create a lightning-based character, but I feel good ideas have been taken. Number one thing is don't look at anyone else's stuff when you're creating characters. Try to draw your inspiration from real-life things. Okay? Try to draw your inspiration from animals, from even objects. Things you see, as opposed to looking at spending so much time on ArtStation, for example, and looking at other people's designs and trying to take other people's ideas. And when I say take other people's ideas, you'll be like, oh, I like the way this looks, so I'll incorporate that into my design. Try to make the design without looking at anything. Okay? Or if you're looking at something, make it like something mundane, everyday object type thing. Okay? Use those for inspirations. Look at sea creatures or something like that. You know what I mean? But also, number one thing for me is understand your story. It would help a lot. Now, a lot of people don't do that, and then a lot of people are successful not doing that. But I would suggest, if you already have your story in place, make your story first before you actually make your character. And it will make it easier. It definitely will. Okay. All right. Should I do Vader first before I continue? All right. Solid drawing tonight. Thank you, Matesh. There you go. Tomorrow's all you, my friend. When you were deciding to be an artist for a career or not, did you question it because you wanted to keep it as a hobby? I don't want to be told what to draw in every comic panel. I don't like drawing as much. Not really. Not really, because I like telling stories, but I'm not much of a writer at the same time. I'm not much of a writer. So I actually liked when people told me what to draw in terms of comic books. But then again, that's why comic books isn't for everybody. Even if you're a fantastic artist, even if you could draw Wolverine really well, if you don't like telling stories that other people have written, comics isn't for you. Unless you're totally making comics yourself, right? But the only problem with making comics yourself is it's really tough to get a job in a comic book company that pays well if you know, if you don't like working with other writers. That's the hard part. So take care, Darmody. Thank you very much, Tom. Thank you. A tip for people going to college: do not go for profit college. Yeah. Again, like guys, I would even say to you guys, if you're gonna accrue debt going to college, I wouldn't even go. I would tell you not even to go if you're gonna just accrue a lot of debt. Especially if you're going to college that is in comic art. You know how long you're gonna take to pay back that debt. There you go. What do Vijay says, what do you think about anime style and Western style anime style like the Avatar? I'm not too. I don't think I'm the best guy to answer that question. Like, I'm not a huge anime fan. A huge anime fan, even though like my kids are. My kids are huge anime fans. So I'm not sure. My opinion probably isn't the best for that. So sometimes I just sit and draw to your videos. Well, that's what I encourage you guys to do, actually, Tom. So I think that's fantastic. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Okay, so I'm gonna start adding some black to here, just because I wanna. Hey Martin, how you doing, buddy? Oh boy, save money for college and just go pay. Save money for college, just not go and pay later. That's true, but also think about it this way, okay? Instead of getting money for college, what's to stop you from using that money for online tutorials? And like, for example, like the only reason I say that is because this is one career where it doesn't matter if you have a diploma or not, right? Doesn't matter. Now, here's where it does matter. I'll tell you this. Here's where it does matter. If you are foreign, if you are not from the United States, but you want to work in the United States, it's a lot easier if you have a degree. I'll tell you that right now. It's a lot easier if you have a degree. So there's a situation where maybe it is worth it to go get your degree. If you do one day plan on wanting to work in the United States. So that's what I was thinking. Oh boy. What are things you don't like to draw? No, I pretty much like to draw everything. The only time I don't like to draw is when I draw the same thing over and over and over again. That's one thing I don't like. So that's why maybe I'm not meant to draw a full-time book anymore. Mythbusters, Christopher, I'm totally with you. There you go. Let's see here. Do I have any characters of my own, like original characters? I do. And you won't see it till next year, but I am working on some things. So just say they're in the works. I didn't want to see a miss. A little bit of nerd asked, can you give me some pointers on my YouTube channel? Here's it's the same advice I give to those people who are studying art. It's all about patience. All about patience, and don't look at the views. Don't look at the views, and don't look, like, especially if you're starting, don't even worry about the subscriber count. And I know for those young YouTubers, that's tough. That's tough because you know you want to see, you know, you want things to happen fast, but they just don't. And especially as the market gets more saturated, especially in the drawing space, I'm finding in the past year there's a lot of artists coming in onto the drawing space, and a lot of professional artists coming into the YouTube space. Like guys like Alex Ross, Lionel Yu, they're all getting their own YouTube channels now. So a lot of established artists, they're getting into the space, and because of that, it takes more time. It takes more time to build a following. It's not easy. It's not easy, but you know. So if you're just starting, focus on consistency. Focus on being consistent with all of your what's it called? All of your content, and just focus on the content. Make it the best content you can, because that's really the only thing you can control at this point when you know, for everyone's channel. That's the only thing you could really control, the content. So focus on making your content the best you can, and don't focus on how many subscribers you're getting on a daily basis. You know, that'd be my suggestion for anyone starting out in YouTube anyway. Because all those overnight successes, I guarantee they weren't really overnight successes. And even if they were, they're very few and far in between. So don't expect that to happen to yours as well. Let's see here. Any thoughts on how to advertise and show companies a new superhero IP for them? That's really tough. Like, for example, Marvel and DC, they don't accept any new ideas unless you actually work for them. Okay, and you got to be really established for them to take you seriously with that. Other than that, it's pretty much creator owned. That's the only way to go. If you have a superhero IP, the only way to do it is really do it yourself. Because the bigger companies, they don't buy other people's IPs. They just make their own, right? So that's not how it works. The only way to get an IP to work is to really do it yourself, and then self-publish it. Or, you know, if you get a publisher, you got to prove to them. Like, for example, Image Comics now, you need at least you pitch them your idea, and then you need at least 3 issues in the can, like completed issues, before they even consider publishing it, right? Now, a good thing about Image Comics is they are non-profit, so you just pay for the printing costs, I believe, and they'll do the distribution. I'm probably not the best one to talk about that. My buddy Jim Zub is probably the best one to talk about that, but in terms of selling your property to like an established company, that doesn't happen unless you actually work for them. So, how many years have I drawn? Vijay says. I'd say, well, pretty much my whole life. You know, I always say, you know, I've been drawing since I was 2. I honestly don't know. I have no idea. I just say 2 because it sounds cool. But really, in reality, I don't know the actual day. I would assume 2, if not earlier. Let's see. Have you done a video on places, clothes and costumes on your placing clothes and costumes? No, I have not. That's a good suggestion, though. Let's see here. Okay, forgive me, guys, if I don't get to your question. Most likely it's because the chat moved up, and then I can't keep scrolling up because I won't get any work done if I do that. So if I miss your question, by all means, please put it down. When you are tracing with pen, how do you keep your hands steady? First of all, I hate that word tracing. This is inking. So as you can see, if tracing would be, I would trying to follow these lines exactly. But so let's use the word inking, okay? Because I hate that word tracing. And inkers would hate it whenever you would call it tracing. But It's mostly confidence, and a lot because a lot of these lines here, like I'm just making them up as I go along. A lot of these lines are making them up as I go along, so I just, you know, I just go ahead. It's a lot of practice. It is definitely a lot of practice and confidence. It's all confidence. It's a lot tougher if you're not very confident in what you're doing. But you got to know your light source. So as you can tell, I got a light source going like that. So it helps when you know your light source. Oh boy. Let's see here. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, AC Cappuccino. Is there something? Oh, here's a good one. It's about concept artists. Hold on. AC Cappuccino says there's something specific people who are looking to employ concept artists look for when looking at portfolio. Since I go to tech school, my portfolio is filled with art certificates, GPA, etc. Should my portfolio be customized? It absolutely should. And I'll tell you right now, GPA and all that stuff, that's nice. It's nice, especially if you got straight A's and all that, but it's not the ultimate thing they're looking for. I would, if I were you, since you're a concept artist, I assume you're familiar with Feng Zhu. I assume you're familiar. If you're not, go check out his channel right now. like now. Go check out Feng Zhu's channel right now. And he has this great way to present your work online. And the way you know, he actually, what's called, everything's strategic, the way he places all of his art in his online portfolio. So go check that out if you haven't already. FZD School. That's the YouTube channel, FZD School. Let's see here. Juan says, first time watching you. Do you color in the comp or use markers, etc.? If I do color, it's in Photoshop. I do everything in Photoshop, my friend. So. There you go. Let's see here. What's your favorite tools for art? Let's see, Sharpies. Sharpies or microns. I use a, what's it called? French curve. Oh, speaking of which, I forgot to do that collab. I keep forgetting. There's a collab I've been meaning to finish. I didn't finish it yet. I got to do that. Oh, I should do that today. I'll have to do it tomorrow. Hopefully I'm not too late. Let's see here. Do you think it's good to start a business? Sure, if you're a businessman. If you're good at business, start a business. Leighton says, what made you think of Wolverine against Vader? This is actually commissioned. Somebody paid me to do this. So, wasn't my idea. But I was really happy when they suggested this idea. So, really happy. Do I use a brush pen? No, no, I haven't. Though I think I'm gonna try because they look pretty nice actually. So I might give that a try one of these days. Let's see here. Oh, thank you, Victor Rod. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. By the way, Victor Rod, thank you for mentioning me too. What's her name? You know who I mean. Let's see. What villain do you think is more menacing? Oh, I missed it. Okay, never mind. Are you still gonna be doing your podcast with your friend? Yes, me and Mark, we Jonathan, we actually did 4 of them already. We filmed 4 of them. So of course we didn't do them live. We did the first one live, as a lot of you guys saw. But then we did a few. So it's just a matter of getting to the edit. So I have to edit them. So because we have to keep them on a certain amount of time. They could only be so long. So I need to fix them. I need to fix them still. Let's see. What paper am I using? Juan is asking. This is a Strathmore Bristol board. 11 by 17. That's the size I'm working at here. So standard comic book size paper. So Strathmore. Well, I don't know if Strathmore is common, but standard size 11 by 17 is the standard comic book size paper. Well, back in the day, anyway. Nowadays, people use use the computer. Though I'm positive Marvel still gives out Marvel paper for their work. Let's see here. Let's see. One is a tattoo artist. Not really. I have a whole bunch of friends who are tattoo artists, and they do a wonderful job. But nah, it's not something I'd be into really. Though respect for those who can do it, like you, of course. There you go. Let's see here. Do I like Copics? I honestly haven't tried them. And they look like a lot of fun, so I will be doing them sooner than later. Why not do a drawing for fun? I did one for Superwoman. The Superwoman one I did because I actually got a chance to meet her. Or I thought I was going to go meet her. Like, I brought my daughter to her concert, so that's why I had it done for then. Because I was almost 100% sure that I was gonna get to meet her and give it to her. It didn't happen, but almost. So, at that point, Victor Rod, now it's just a matter of time. Like, I might do a series where I do like turning YouTubers into superheroes, but it's more my time right now. Like, I have other important things to do, so it's not on the priority list. Let's just say that. But she did message me. She did say that she really liked my stuff. Which I thought that was great. So it was really great for her to at least reply. She just told me up front that I wasn't the style of artist she was looking for. She was looking for a specific style. Which is all good, man. All good, me. It's okay, me. How much are commissions? Go check out my my Facebook page, facebook.com/theboxofficeartist, and go to my shop, and I have all my commission prices there. Let's see here. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to fix up some things here. There you go. Still remember when John Barathol loved your art? Yep. Yeah, it would be nice to meet him in person. Because, you know, my buddy Apple, he might be even on the stream. Well, no, he would have said hi if he was on the stream. He knows everybody. And I owe my buddy Apple a lot of drawings. I owe him a lot, so I'm hoping to get those done over the next few days. But we'll see. Let's see here. Am I a gamer? No, I'm not. Unfortunately, no. Let's see here. Have I ever used any India ink or dip pens? I have, but not since college. It's been a long time since I used a dip pen. So, and knowing me, I'd probably spill it. I know me. I know me. There you go. Let's see here. Gotta go 5 a.m., Brad. Gotta go. Good morning, my friend. Thank you, Brad. Mr. Oldman. Let's see here. Hakeem in person says, who would win this fight? I think I mentioned this before. Vader, hands down. Vader would win this fight. And again, one of the reasons why I'm certain of that is because of that. I forgot who sent me what. Let me know if you were the one who sent it to me. Someone sent me that Nerdist video about could a lightsaber go through adamantium, and it made a lot of sense. And even if it couldn't go adamantium, he had a very good reason why Wolverine would lose. As well, scientifically. Let's see here. Let's see here. What advice would will I draw? Let's go back up. Terry says, "Will you draw Doomfist from Overwatch?" Yes, I will. Yes, I will. I'm excited about it too. I got to get back to my Overwatch series. Hopefully, very very soon, guys. Hopefully, very soon. I want to finish the entire thing for Fan Expo this year if I can, but we'll see. Let's see here. What advice would I have for spotting blacks on drawings? Have a hard time with this. Again, light source. Number one, understand light source. Number two, understand form. You got to understand form, thinking in 3D. All of that matters whenever you're spotting blacks. You got to understand the surface of your character. Okay, so don't just add black just for the sake of adding black. Whenever you're adding black, ask yourself why. Why is the black there? For example, the reason why there's all this black here is because that's the color of the material. And then these parts here, they're highlights of where I think the light would hit it. Like even little things like this, I'm understanding the form going around it. The blacks here. Okay. So also ask yourself, is it really necessary? Okay. Just because you add a lot of black doesn't make it a better drawing, for sure. Because you guys know I like a lot of black, but then I've seen so many drawings, like people send me their drawings on Twitter and such, and I do take a look at them, guys. I just don't have time to critique them. So first of all, I apologize for that. But a lot of people, they try to mimic my style, which I think is cool and all, but their drawing isn't quite there yet. And because the drawing isn't quite there, all the ink, because they're adding all this, you know, cross hatching, and then they're adding all this extra stuff to it, it actually makes the drawing look worse because their structure wasn't right. And they were just adding lines without understanding why the lines are there. Okay, so in turn, what happens is lighting gets inconsistent, which is a problem. Okay, so those are very, very important steps. Let's see here. If I start up a social media account, James, would you join for a group of people all into art? I'm not sure about that. Like we like in all honesty, I have my own, but as a lot of these guys know, I hardly participate in those even, right? So I'm gonna need to start participating in my own groups before I get join the other ones there, Elijah. Not that I don't want to, but you know, it wouldn't be fair. Why did I put black in Wolverine's fist? Because it's the material. It's the material. I'm thinking about the material. His gloves are leather. That's why they're black here. So, like, or these gloves would be blue. They would be blue. That's why I'm adding a little bit more black in here than I would in other places. But at the same time, you notice here I left this white. This is like a highlight on it. This is a cast shadow from this knuckle here. A little bit down here below here like that. So, again, reason for everything. Any comics that I hold dear? Not as much, not anymore. Not anymore. Okay, good night, Philip. Like, again, I used to be a hardcore comic collector, like in my later high school years. As you guys know, a lot of you guys know, I'm late. I started later to the comics game. I started more in high school. But nothing I would hold dear. Like if you see all my comics, they're red. You can tell I read them. Like I don't CGC any of them at all because I'd rather read them. In all honesty, I'd rather read the comics. Let's see here. What was my favorite comic? That's a good question. I'm trying to think about that. What was my favorite comic? Of all time, I would say Ultimates. Let's say Ultimates. What time is it? It's 11:10? Okay. Okay. Tom says, if Wolverine could survive a fight with the Hulk and got ripped in two, then he surely could survive a fight with Vader. Possibly. Possibly, yep. But not if Vader can slice through his entire skeleton. But again, it's one of those things, that's where a talented writer comes in. And again, like they even explained in the Nerdist video, it all depends on their fighting style, how the fight would actually go. You know, what they would do during the fight. Like a lot of different factors happen. So that's why I'm not a writer. A talented writer will tell us. Let's see here. Okay. Young Kid 56 says your prices as commission are amazing. Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, I'm glad they seem affordable to you, so that's good. Like, I don't want to price myself out, but my commission prices, they are comparable to my fellow Transformers artists. We pretty much all charge around the same for all our commissions. Those are the prices I usually have at conventions when I'm at a convention. So Wolverine's organs can heal. I believe so, right? Yeah, I believe they can. And then some people they challenge that. Like they're like, what if you chop off Wolverine's head? If you chop off Wolverine's head, is he going to grow back another head, or is he going to grow back another body? What happens, right? What happens then? So, again, that's where a good writer comes into play. I don't know. Marilyn says, what is the most favorite or most memorable comic book series you've read? And looking amazing so far. Thank you very much. So a couple come to mind. Again, like I said, the Ultimates, Brian Hitch and Mark Millar. Authority by Warren Ellis. And of course, Brian Hitch. Those two come to mind right away. Hush. I love Hush. Hush is great. It's one of my favorites of all time, Hush. As you go, Jim Lee and Jeff Loeb, Hush. Boy. Let's see here. What are your most unique, memorable commissions? Oh, I had well, a lot of people like asked me to draw them as superheroes. A lot of them. One memorable one I had was someone wanted me to draw them Samurai Pizza Cat. If you guys remember that, Samurai Pizza Cat. Also, one fun one I had was commissioned. Someone asked me to draw their kids. So they had a, I believe, I'm not sure if there was son or daughter with their spouse and their grandkid, and they're big Walking Dead fans. So they wanted me to draw them as zombies. So that was fun. And what was fun about that commission was trying to figure out the medium between, like, I could have gone extremely grotesque, like having jaws hanging out and stuff, like that. But I was trying to find a medium where it was just enough, like, a decaying on their face, where it wasn't too overly, gross at the same time. So I think I found a good medium, and they loved it. They absolutely loved it. So that was a more memorable one, for sure. Let's see here. Let's see here. How do you make art into a business, and how can you make it into a business? Honestly, every job is a business, right? It's about finding clients, and then and then making the clients happy. You know what I mean, by finishing your work on time. And yeah, so it takes a while. It takes a while to build a proper clientele. So depending on what kind of art you want to do, of course. But they say after 10 years, if you constantly look for clients, after 10 years, the clients come looking for you. So if you could consistently find, but throughout that time, you're the one trying to find those clients. So it takes a while. So whether you're getting to advertising art or even comic books, it takes a while to earn a reputation as someone who's reliable. You could get the work done on time. You don't lie. You're not, you're never late, type thing. So it can take some time, but some guys they do it right away. Some guys can find consistent work right away in comics too at the same time. So it all depends. Depends on the type of job you're looking for. What if I want to make a business about movie making? Like, well, honestly, Elijah, whatever it is, whether it be movie making, graphic design, at the very first thing you got to do is prove you could do it. Nobody, no matter how talented you are, nobody's gonna hire you unless you can prove you could do the work. And especially something like movie making, you got to prove you can make movies. And the only way to prove you can make movies is by actually making movies. So it's one of those type of things where for the first few years you're gonna have to front that. You're gonna have to put up the money and do it yourself, really. Unless you're willing to intern for somebody and learn on the fly that way. Thank you, Boards in the Hood. Thank you, my friend. What rules do you have for life? I don't know. That sounds too deep for me to answer right now. Just do it. Any tips on job hunting and interviewing, Rozaku? For which art discipline are you talking about? Love the shape of the claws. Cool, thank you. What rules do you have for adding detail then? Number one, determine what you like when it comes to adding detail. Like, do you just like adding detail for the sake of adding detail? Does your detail have a purpose? Answer those questions first before you add it, right? And then ask yourself, are you adding detail just to hide stuff? Here's one thing interesting that Doug Chang, when I was at Celebration, I went to Doug Chang's panel. And, that was one of the highlights for me, was going to Doug Chang's panel. And he said whenever they do a design, they would go ahead and design it and then start stripping away, taking away detail. Keep taking away until the design doesn't work anymore. And once the design doesn't work anymore, then they just put back that little detail, and that's where they stop. So it's a total less is more situation, meaning that the design should work. The simpler the design, the better and more effective. And in terms of drawing, it's more like the less when it comes down to it, the lesson you can learn when you're actually drawing is the structure. And if your structure is sound, then add, by all means, add as much detail as you want, as long as it's read clearly, as people can read it, and well, that's the most important thing, and it doesn't distract from what you're actually trying to say with your artwork. So add as much as you want, right? Then it turns into style, right? You're under that classification of style. I would never forget you when I become famous. There you go. There you go, Elijah. Go for it. Go for it, my friend. You can do it. Let's see. 6 a.m. for Krasimir. Where are you from, Krasimir? Let's see here. MPM Drawing says, I can't wrap my head around the fact you still do professional art with the main tool being a Sharpie. It's true. Well, it proves, it doesn't matter, especially in today's age where they just scan it in anyway. It's going to get digitized no matter what. It's just a matter of how it gets into the computer, And the companies, they don't really care because they don't keep the original art anymore. They don't really care. As long as it gets into the computer okay and it publishes okay, they're cool with everything, right? So. I think I should start working on Vader. Israelsa wants a shout out. There you go, Israelsa. Krasimir is from Bulgaria. Awesome. Pion's doing a manga webcomic. Cool. Thank you for doing a late live stream. You're welcome. So I'm probably not going to go too much longer, guys. Probably just for another 15 minutes or so. Carson King wants me to say you the name. There's your name, Carson King. That's your name, Carson King. There you go. Update on 38 challenge. I will email you guys next week once I get to my folks' place. Because I finally will have some time to go through all of it. So. And again, thank you guys for your patience. Thank you. Noah wants a shout out. Noah, you get a shout out. Infinity Corner gets a shout out. There you go. I'm the LeVar Burton of drawing. There you go. Anonymous art. I wouldn't say that because some people might think of it that way, but to me, he's one of the main reasons I got into comics in the first place. So I would never say stuff like that about him. I know there are people who do. To each his own. And I get it why people say that about him. But it's one of those things where, at the same time, people buy his art. They do. And I loved his art style when I was a kid. I absolutely loved it. I bought all of his books and everything. So and I met him, and he's an amazing guy. So like I've never worked with him before, so I can't say what he's like to work with. But it's one of those things. If people feel that way, to each his own. Let's see. What's the best way to contact you to have an art conversation? In all honesty, this is the best way to talk to me about an art conversation. I am in like a lot of these guys know here. Everyone who's tried to contact me, I'm an extremely busy guy, and it's hard for me to do one-on-ones with anybody. So, if you want an art question answered, this is the best place to do it. This is the best form to do it. So there you go. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you very much. I don't have Jez's book. There you go. Christopher, don't worry. I'll be messaging all those people next week. It's my fault, guys. And again, like I mentioned before, I'm probably never doing a challenge like this again. Kudos to my buddy Jazza, who's able to do this monthly, and I don't know how he's able to do it. Guy's a beast. Guy's a beast. There you go. All right. Chase more truth likes fish. There you go. Let's see here. If you get the opportunity to work for Marvel or DC, would you go for it? And thanks for your videos. Been watching you since 2014. Well, thanks for watching so long. Let's just say at this point, I wouldn't say no. If they were to come to me tomorrow and say we would like you to do a fill-in issue, I probably would take it. I probably would. It's highly doubtful they would. But I won't lie to you guys and say, nah, I wouldn't do it. I probably would do it. And I'll probably for the wrong reasons, though. And when I say the wrong reasons, probably the only reason I would do it is to try to build up my fan base. And that's it. Not actually for the love of doing comics. Because doing comics is tough. I told you guys that before. Doing comics is not... It's not easy. It's not fun. Well, I won't say it's not fun. It's fun. It's fun. But it's not easy. It's not easy. And I'm getting up there in age. And it's a lot harder for me to do all those all-nighters and stuff than it used to. But I probably wouldn't turn it down. I definitely wouldn't turn it down. Like, especially if it's a character that I've never done before. You know, I would actually jump at the chance, probably. Now, you know, I know that's a complete change from what I said before in the past. Before I'm like, nah, I wouldn't do that. But in all honesty, thinking about it now, I probably would. I probably would. Just to try it. But I'm not actively seeking a comic book job. Because that's a completely different thing. Like, you're not seeing me doing any comic book samples or anything like that. So, have I heard of Kamen Rider? I actually haven't, Payan, no. So, did I like Hugh Jackman's Wolverine? Of course I did. There you go. Have you ever thought of making a card game or cartoon? We'll see there, Aaron. But welcome to the channel. Thanks for following along. I am working on an IP right now, so we'll see. When I get to come, let's see here. There you go, cool. How would you describe your style? Mine. I don't know. Like I think I'm in the realm of the David Finches and the Jason Fabocks, like that type of style. I don't know, Christopher. To each his own. I just wanted to do something cool. That's all. Let's see. Do I like Adam Hughes? I love Adam Hughes. I love Adam Hughes. He's a pretty good, huge influence on me too. Adam Hughes. Never went to art college, Adam Hughes. He said he drove by an art college once. He said it looked expensive. Have I ever been to Manila? Yes, I have. Quite a few times, actually. One of my dreams is to meet Stan Lee. There you go. Forgetting the chain. Oh, don't worry. The chain will be there. Hold on, I'm just getting some Vader reference here. How much time do I have to put in to be as great as you? First of all, I'm not that great. Just a guy who likes to draw, my friend. As much as possible. That's all I could say. And you know, I should not be the standard by any means, guys. Don't put me up to the standard, because I'm not. There are way more successful artists out there that you could put a standard to. I'm just a guy who likes to draw on camera. So definitely do not make me the standard, guys. But at the same time, no matter what standard you have, means nothing if you're not working hard. Draw as much as you can every day. That's all I could say to you right now. So let's see here. I should write a book. Maybe one of these days, yeah. Do you have any tips for anatomy and bigger pieces of artwork? Well, I have a whole bunch of tutorials you can check out if you ever get the time about those particular subjects. So just go check that out. Love you too, Kyle. There you go. Thank you very much, Kyle. Have you looked at the character designs and splash art for League of Legends? I have. And the splash art, like my buddy Alvin Lee, he does a lot of the League of Legends artwork there. So I love that stuff, man. It's great. I wish I could do that style. How would you consider doing an Adam Hughes on how to draw video, or like an understanding his style? Sure. There you go. Brian wants to entertain people with his storytelling. There you go. And the great thing about today is you could do it really cheaply with this little YouTube thing that we got going on here. You can do it for free. Let's see here. I love how boldly I go with the inks. Thank you very much. Thank you. Like a lot of this, again, this process I'm doing right here, I call this inking, or penciling with the ink pen. It's like I'm penciling it, but with the ink pen. There you go. Ever think of drawing video game characters like Joel and Eddie? Like I started a video game drawing series. I didn't continue it. I'll probably get back to it, especially on Twitch. Twitch is a great place to draw like video game type style drawings. So how come the Visa channel doesn't collab with you? I'm not. I'd love to collab with them. They actually messaged me too. So I don't know. One of these days, maybe I'll throw them a message. So, are you jealous of any artist? No, I'm not. I'm not jealous of any artist. I'm happy for a lot of artists. You know, if I see someone doing better than me, I'm happy for them. Like, well, why would I be jealous over that? You know, they worked hard for it. Why would I be jealous of any artist who worked really hard and achieved what they wanted to achieve? You know? That seems silly to me. But then again, you know, people are different. I could see people getting jealous. But, you know, that's not the way I'm wired. If I see someone doing well, you know what? Good for them. Good for them. They worked really hard. They deserve it. Let's see here. Someone really likes Adam Hughes, but it keeps going up in the chat. There you go. Hey, Elijah, you know what? Like a lot of people want me to judge their art, and it just takes too much time. It just does. I wish it did. You know, if I was something I thought would be manageable, maybe I would do something like that. But it's just not. I just don't have the time to do something like that. There you go. Do you feel your art skills are still improving? You know what? That's a good question. I'm not sure. I don't know because like looking at my art now compared to I was like 4 or 5 years ago, it's not much of a difference. I'll be honest. I could say yeah I improved that much. It didn't improve that much, in my opinion. In my personal opinion, looking at the stuff I was doing back then, like of course maybe 10 years ago, I see a more dramatic. Um, I see a way more dramatic shift, but in terms of now, not so much, not so much. Let's see. Paper question. Paper. What paper are you using? Bioshaka is asking. This is a Strathmore Bristol board. 11 by 17. Okay, and smooth. I like the smooth. Gotta draw the chain in here. Chain. Let's see here. What sketchbook should we use for what skins? What do you use? I don't use sketchbooks. Let's see here. Try practicing a different art style to improve more. Yeah, possibly. But even things like anatomy and all that stuff, like there's still stuff. Like I'm like you guys. Like everybody's perspective could get better. Everyone's anatomy could get better. Everyone's proportions could get better. Like all of that could get better. Like especially I see a lot of my students, and I have some really talented students there, and then seeing their stuff is like, oh, there's a lot of stuff I can learn from them. Even let's see. Red versus blue pencil. Christopher's asked, what do you like most and what's noticeable? Again, the only reason I use red in the video is so you could see it. So that's mainly for you guys. That's why I use red. Blue is a little easier on the eyes. It's cooler. I feel more calm when I'm using blue. And I'm not joking. That's actually true. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's not that much of a difference. I will probably have to go in and erase some of this, though, at the end of the day, so... Let's see here. Where do I teach ICS? I teach at a college called Centennial College here in Toronto, Canada. And I also teach at another school called Max the Mutt School for Animation and Design. Comics and Design. It's got the only comic book course in Canada. However, I don't teach in the comic book course. I teach in the concept art course. Let's see. Is the blue pencil non-photographic? It is. And but even the red, you could remove it pretty easy on the computer too, so it doesn't make that much of a difference. Let's see. Let's see. What's the name of your new white pen that I use? It's just honestly, it's just corrector fluid. I forgot. It was just like a big pen, really. time is it, guys? I might actually have to get going, everyone. Which means I will have to finish this on the Australian stream. I do want to get this done in the morning, and I want the video up tomorrow for this. So tomorrow, guys, I'm going to be doing something a lot of fun. It's another commission, and actually the guy who I'm doing it for, he was here briefly earlier. I'm doing a commission, and it's another. I'm going to be turning another car into a transformer. But this was going to be fun because it's going to be a female transformer he wants me to turn them into. So that's going to be a ton of fun tomorrow. So join me tomorrow. If you want to join me, and if you want to be notified, hit the bell. Hit the bell. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I know a lot of people aren't getting their notifications. So join me tomorrow for that. That'll be a lot of fun. What time? Probably during the day. So I'm probably going to sleep for about 4 or 5 hours and then get back to this and finish this off and then try to get the video done. So that's probably what I'm going to do. How do you start from a blank paper to an amazing piece of artwork? A lot of planning, my friend. So what you're gonna find with this video is that you're gonna go. I actually bring you through my planning process of how I decided to go with this particular layout of this fight here. So the considerations I made for the lightsaber for this piece, a little bit, not too much though, not too much. So what is the most challenging artwork you have done to date? Oh, it's got to be the Star Wars piece. That's got to be it. Is a 10-minute, 1 minute, 10-second challenge your kryptonite? Nah, I wouldn't say that at all. That's just fun. You know, it's all fun and games, really. Like who? It's one of those things. Who does a good drawing in 10 seconds? You know what I mean? And I draw them pretty big too. I see some of these guys who do these 10-minute, 1 minute, 10 seconds, but the drawing's like this big. They draw them tiny, you know? Like there was never a size qualification for the 10-minute, 1 minute, 10-second challenge, right? So tell you guys, I have no fear. Yeah, I'm going to do that later. I have a lot of black to add to this, so I'll probably do that a little bit later tomorrow. So, have you ever thought of drawing in Starbucks? I have before, but now I film everything, so I can't film in Starbucks. So, yeah, that's one of those type of things. How much do I regularly charge for commissions? Nova, go to my Facebook page, facebook.com/theboxofficeartist, and go to my shop. I have all my commission prices over there, okay? So there you go. Will a lightsaber cut through adamantium claws? Go look that up in on YouTube. Go check out Nerdist. Type in adamantium lightsaber, and they do this whole special on if it would actually cut. So, okay, guys, we're gonna call that a night for today. I'm gonna go to bed now. It's around almost midnight my time. Probably gonna wake up in about 4, 5, 6 hours from now to finish this off. So if you're awake in 6 hours, if you want to join me, we're going to finish this off. If you're not going to be awake, that's fine, because I'm going to be putting up a video on this tomorrow. So you guys could check it out and take a look at my layout process, which was pretty interesting for this one. So you guys could check that out. All right. So let me just stop recording here. So I thank you guys who are watching here live, and quite a few of you were on here tonight. So I appreciate that. Thank you guys for joining me. You guys are the best. So I'm gonna wish you guys good night. Thank you guys for joining in, and you guys are the best. So let me give you a high five. Get a high five for you. And a high five for you. Yes, and you guys looking forward. Oh, by the way, before I go, if you guys haven't seen it, if you want a little bit more of my content, go to my buddy PJ's channel, May Illustrations. I believe it's called May Illustrations, if I'm not mistaken. That's his channel. I did an interview with him, and I talk about getting into the comic book industry and even life as an artist. So go check that out. If you get that chance, go to his YouTube channel, May Illustrations. And I did an interview. It's about an hour long if you have some time. So go check that out if you get the chance. Okay? Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight, and I will see you guys next time. Take care, everyone. Good night. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.